Hello, friends, and welcome to another figure study where we appreciate the form in Transformers. And today, taking a look at Titan's Return Highbrow. Gonna be upfront and honest, not a fan. Not a fan. Now, Highbrow is not the headmaster that I have any particular attachment to because I never had the original toy. Never knew anyone who had the original toy, so no nostalgia goggles with this one whatsoever. And yeah, I'm not feeling it. I mean, he's not a terrible looking attack helicopter thing overall, but I mean, looking at him like this, it's like that's totally a robot. I mean, he's got his arms aren't even hiding at all. And it's just, yeah, not much disguise going on with this robot that is supposed to be in disguise. But I will say, like virtually every other Titan's Return Deluxe and larger figure that I've got, put that away, there is some nice detail, just overall molded detail in here. Of course, I mean, looking at him from this angle, it's even more obvious that he's a robot, but like, I do like the texture on him. I really like what they've been doing with texture in this in the Titan's Return line, which I know I've said before, but seriously, even on a figure that I'm not fond of, I think it looks really good. It's it's a lot of really enjoyable detail in the when you get up close. It's just the not up close that I have a problem with. Now, his cockpit here. Let's peel that up, and actually, before I do that, I actually do think the cockpit looks nice. I like just how they painted the trim. That gray, that it's a little bit darker than the rest of the gray on the figure, but it's close enough, and that red plastic there, it's a nice color. And I do like Highbrow's colors overall. I think the blue is a nice blue. There's some nice reds. The grays are okay, because gray goes with just about everything. And yeah, I mean, I like the detail that they put in here. It's a little weird that this red is darker than this red, but whatever. It's just, I don't like the shape of this helicopter at all. I feel like they could have done more with these. Anyway, yeah, getting back to the cockpit. That up, pull out his little headmaster, whose name I don't care about, and now this is what one of the first things that really disappoints me with Highbrow. His headmaster isn't bad. It's actually a decent amount of color variation to him. You've got the gray and the blue, unlike other ones, which I'm going to get to later, that have really terrible color on the headmasters, and I do like that they painted his visor silver, so that's something. And decent molding in there and all that. Not bad. But yeah, it's oddly rare that the Titan Masters get the painted heads, it seems. Like, they did a decent amount of paint work on Blur's Titan Master, and he was, for whatever reason, the only one that got that treatment, at least out of the ones that I have. So yeah, there's teeny tiny Titan Master, and then, inside, there's surprisingly a disappointing lack of detail on the inside of the cockpit, which is weird because every other figure in the line seems to actually have lots of molded detail inside the cockpit. But that's not here. Oh well. And yeah. Oh, and I do have his guns attached, which I actually kept attached because they function as landing gear. So, just pop these off if I can. Come on. Come on. Went in, now they don't want to come out. There we go. And come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Jeez. Okay. Now I got this all out of whack. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this helicopter mode. It could have been handled much, much better. Will I like robot mode better? Not bloody likely. Okay. Now, I have a lot of technical issues with this figure. A lot. More than I honestly have had with any other Titans Return figure that I own. Actually, I think more than all of them put together. I mean, you know, technical issues aren't a huge part of what these videos are supposed to be about, but Highbrow's technical issues are so bad that they do actually get in the way of his aesthetics. One of the big ones being his head. He's got that loose joint, that loose connector problem that virtually every other Highbrow has, where it just, I mean, look at this. That's just, it makes posing virtually pointless, at least with his head. And I mean, even the Titan Master's like the Titan Master itself is a loose mess. Like you can see, his arm is just like poking out now, and it's just, it's so ridiculous. And less irritating, but still relevant issues are the fact that his hips don't like I had to mess, like I'm like between ratchet clicks right now to get his legs at a more natural stance. It's normally either like, you know, super awkward, gotta pee close together, or super awkward, sitting on the subway and doesn't care about sharing any leg space spread apart. So it is just not good at all with that. It's just, ugh. And then the issue is we get rid of his guns. The other issue is his hands, which don't really, like, they don't lock into place. And you can get them to kind of lock in place if you pull them back like at a really awkward angle, and it's just, he's a bit of a mess. And the thing is, I could find ways around it. I could take the time to try and get his neck sorted out. I can work around the ratchet joints in the hips. I can live with the weird wrists, but I don't like his look enough to bother. It's just like, he's not terrible, but to me he just looks very almost generic. And like I said, I have no nostalgic love for the original character or the original figure because I never owned it. And I know this is supposed to be faithful to the original, and that's fine, but I just don't really dig this design very much. I mean, the color distribution is fine. I'm still a fan of the blue. You don't really see much of the red anymore, at least from the front. But, you know, it's broken up nicely. And he definitely makes a better robot than he does a helicopter. But then there's like, just, it's all kind of weird. Like I can appreciate how they brought in the darker blue for the knees and kind of carried it through in the shoulders there to just kind of give him a little bit more interest color-wise. But then you've got the red in the shoulders here that really you only get something similar in the chest and like on the sides of the legs, but you don't really see those from the front. And then there's that yellow that doesn't really seem to like belong because there's no yellow anywhere else in the figure. I don't know. And then you've also got the problem where, you know, he's got these wings that stick out of his shoulders, which I'm not a fan of to begin with, but like, they have the nicely molded parts on the top here that are supposed to be part of the helicopter, but then the sides that are constantly, you don't have a choice, facing forward are the ones that are all hollowed out with the pegs and stuff in them, and it's just, don't like that. And I don't like the shape of his arms in general, like the way this wrist kind of tapers and becomes really thin. It doesn't look quite right to me. It makes his wrists look way too narrow and awkward, and it makes his arms look a little bit too long. I just get him to stand. Yeah, not a fan of Highbrow. That may bother some people, and I'm sorry if it does, but I'm not into it. I really think they could have done more with it. Just the color distribution it's okay. Like, I don't mind the gray and the blue and all that. Like, it all kind of works well, but I feel like they could have done a little bit more in the arms. They could have done more to the shape, and it would have been really awesome if his head wasn't just a freaking bobble-headed mess. Yeah, I'm disappointed. Sorry to say. Really, I honestly, like, I didn't really have that much of an interest in Highbrow in the first place when I got him. I was debating whether or not I wanted to open him, and then I thought, what the heck? And I'm sorry I did. I kind of wish I just kept him in his package and tried to, like, sell him on eBay or something like that, because I got him in a 4-pack. It's not important. Anyway, yeah, Highbrow is... I'm not digging him. Fortunately, he's the only Titans Return figure that I have that I'm 100% not into. I've got others that I'm kind of on the fence about, but yeah, there's no fence sitting with Highbrow, just no. But hey, other folks who have a fondness for Highbrow may end up enjoying him. They may be able to look past the QC issues. They may not have the QC issues. Me, it all just comes together to make a really uninteresting figure for me. And that's disappointing. But oh well, there are plenty of other figures to choose from in this line, right? Anyway, that has been my look at Titans Return Highbrow. Thank you everybody for watching. As per usual, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Any combination of those three will make me a happy Rob, and you know, I'll understand if you want to dislike because I didn't like Highbrow, but hey, gotta be honest. Anyway, that's that. And remember, art is more than meets the eye.